Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the Blazing Pedal Arca series. I am Brett the Jet here in the booth from the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight we got an awesome race on hand. We're going to the first true short track here for the series. We're at the Paperclip Martinsville Motor Speedway here. We'll see these drivers try and muscle these Arca cars around the speedway here. It's going to take a lot of talent, a lot of skill, but also a lot of patience here as we have 300 laps on the docket here at Martinsville, 150 miles, so it's going to be a treacherous one for these drivers. We have 33 cars that have taken a lap, so we're going to have a lot of cars crammed on this half mile here of Martinsville. We have 34 cars here at the speedway, but only 33 have taken a time. Speaking about that, we'll go look at the times from practice put up on the left side of our screen here. We have Jamie Walker once again at the top of the boards. We got to talk to him last week. He finished finally on the podium, shook some of that bad luck off that machine, and once again back on the top of the speed charts there with a 19.49. Also Chris Carroll right on top of him with that same exact lap time. So qualifying is going to be also important here, as track position will mean a lot. So we will watch these drivers here in qualifying, see where they can put their respective cars, because it's going to be a tricky place to pass. We'll see a lot of accordions, we'll see a lot of bumpers, especially as this race gets on through, as we finish up practice here and get ready for the all-important qualifying. We'll see who is able to nail a lap time and who will be the MF Racing Designs pole winner and the front row winner. As it looks like we get some cars rolling out on track. Here we got the liquid moly machine of Brandon Feeney. He already put in the YouTube chats here. Short track will lead to short fuses, and I agree, Brandon. We're going to have some high tempers here tonight, as people will get the bumper, will get the door, and will be moved out of the preferred groove, as we see the 38 coming off of turn number 4 for his first time lap. He will go to Pete number 6 on lap number 1. We'll see if he can benefit that for this second lap here for the liquid moly number 38 machine. As we'll go, of course, get the timing and scoring sorted out on the left side of your screen. Get that updated. Sam Bumgarn to the top of the board right now in the 57 machine. We'll look at the 88 Mountain Dew machine of Jamie Walker. He was quickest in practice, folks. We'll see where he can put the 88 Mountain Dew machine here as he heads through the backstretch for his first time lap. As you can see, folks, very quick laps here, under 20 seconds. These drivers going to be busy in these cars as Jamie Walker goes to the top of the board with a 19.44, so even faster than in practice. He will call that good. He'll pull that off to the side. Now we got the 4 car of Tanner Marr out here in the butt kicker MF Racing Designs machine. We'll see where he can go as he starts his first time lap. Tanner looking for a strong result here tonight. Has been around the top 10 all season long here. You'd probably be looking to crack inside this top 5 with the wild events going on at Martinsville. You never know what could happen. You can be out there in front, but it just takes that one second place car to move you out of the way. As the 4 machine goes Pete number 3 on lap number 1. We'll see if he can better that time here on lap number 2. But a solid qualifying effort from the 4 machine, puts it in the top 3 as it stands right now, as he is not able to better his lap. So it seems like your first lap will be the lap that will count, so you got to make it work. As we see the snap-on 09 machine of James Miller, he has already seen victory lane here, as he will abort his qualifying run, say, you know what, I didn't get the good run, I didn't like what I was feeling, gonna abort it quick. And you can do that as long as you don't hit the start finish line. You can give up on a lap. We also got Kyle Wellman giving us an update before he went out there for qualifying. No practice. He was the only driver without a time in practice, and he put a P17 of 21 drivers, so not too bad from the 42 machine. As we look back to the number 09 machine of James Miller, as now he will try and set up his first time lap. We'll see if he likes his run this time off before he does. He will start his first time lap here, and he completes it there with a 19.60, so that'll put him P number 3 as they stand. We'll see if he can better that lap, but it seems like the trend here tonight is your first lap will be your fast lap, so you got to make it count on lap number 1. As James Miller just proves me wrong there, folks, and betters his lap for lap number 2. He goes P number 2, so he's on the front row award as it stands. We'll see if he can get knocked off. A couple big hitters still left to take a lap. We now look at the number 6 of Derek Paulson as he heads down the backstretch for his first time lap. Another sweet looking car here as he completes his first time lap. Derek will go P number 21, so he will look to improve that as he gets big time loose off of 2. He will tag the inside wall, and that will bring his qualifying efforts to an end. So the 6 machine will be starting deep in this field tonight. As currently, folks, we got no cars out on track. So we will throw it over to the wheel here, everyone's favorite Blazing Pedals stage caution wheel, and we'll give this thing a spin and see what kind of number we get. As we get a pretty good spin out of it, we'll get a caution on lap 106 here tonight, so very close to the beginning that we put in here tonight at lap 100. So we will have to keep that in mind, folks, as if we don't get a yellow or too many yellows before then, we'll get it at lap 106. As we got now the 17 machine of Brian Dees. He is out there on track and looks like he's going to start his qualifying run here. As he heads through turns 1 and 2 for the first time, looking pretty smooth. He's hitting that bottom. That's what we'll have to see the drivers do all night. Run that bottom, really wrap those inside turtles without hitting them, because if you hit them, that really upsets the car and will make you have a handful of sideways car in a hurry. You got to be lightning quick on your reflexes to not lose control of that car. As we see the 17 machine go P number 12, Dalton Kilrow, and the 41 machine goes all the way to P number 6. Now on track, we got the 16 machine of Ian Habiak. This will be his first time lap. We'll see where the TRJ karting machine goes as he goes P27 on lap number 1. We'll see where he can slot on in here on this lap. I gotta say, I love the chrome, the blue chrome of this car. It definitely stands out. It really makes a pop for having not little design to it. It definitely accentuates the curves very nicely as Ian Habiak goes P number 14 on lap number 2. And now we got the Barbie machine out here, Mark Arthur. He could challenge for this pole position here as we see him on time lap number 1 for the 12 of Mark Arthur. Mark, another driver with a race win already. He goes P number 2 on lap number 1. We'll see if he can shave off a few hundredths of a second, or if that's what that 12 machine has as he heads into 3 and 4 for the final time. A little bit loose. You saw him have to chase that wheel just a smidge, trying to get on that loud pedal early, and he does not better that time. So Mark Arthur will be starting P number 2 as they sit, as we have about a minute left in practice here, folks. And it looks like we've had 29 drivers take a lap time here. So a lot of drivers trying to get that track position. Like I said, folks, it's going to be very important to be out in front if you can stay out as much carnage as possible, because it will happen in a hurry. And when it happens, it can be big. As with a little bit of time, we'll go over some race info. We are at race number 7 of the 32-week series here for the Blazing Pedal Arca series presented by TRJ Karting. Of course, Martinsville is the half-mile paperclip. Not too much banking here tonight, or I want to say around 3 to 6 at the most, folks, of degrees of banking. Of course, you got the concrete patch in the corners, trying to make the car work and stick through that. Of course, the fastest way around this place will be the bottom, so we'll see drivers really trying to defend that. But on starts, we'll see a bunch of accordion, a bunch of checkup on the inside lane, so it's going to be a fun one to watch, as we're looking like a nice, warm 77 degrees day here, and the track temperature right around 80, so we will have to keep that in mind as we get ready to grid here. Jamie Walker, Mark Arthur, our MF Racing Design Front Row Award recipients. As we get ready, pull up the right cameras, folks. As, of course, the front row isn't quite out there yet, but they are the MF Racing Designs Front Row Award recipients. That would be the 88 of Jamie Walker. I got to start keeping track of how many he gets, because that man is a menace here in qualifying. Now we see that Mountain Dew machine. And then Mark Arthur will be the other recipient of the Front Row Award. As we get most of the cars here on the grid, we'll go start hustling through this starting order. Jamie Walker puts it on pole in the 88 Mountain Dew machine. Mark Arthur in the 12 will start to his outside. Second row will be made up of James Miller in the 09. Sam Baumgarten in the 57 will be fourth. Fifth is Tanner Marr in the 4 machine. To his outside will be Chris Carroll in the 24. Dalton Kilrow will start P number 7. Ty Marasco in the 1, P number 8. John Perkins in the 33 is 9th. And rounding out our top 10, Corey Sherman in the 3. 11th goes to Jason Powell in the 18. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the 10 will be 12th. 13th is Brian Dees in the 17. Jason Raymond in the 31, 14th. 15th is Ian Habiak in the 16. 16th is Aaron Backover in the 44. 17th is Jordan McAvoy in the 21. 18th is Chris Legou in the 71. Rick Thompson in the 76 will start 19th. 20th goes to Randy McAvoy. 21st is Amanda Sherman in the 8. Philip Van Fleet in the 89 machine starts P number 22. 23rd goes to Josh Rutherford in the 64. Kyle Wellman in the 42 starts 24th. 25th is Corey Rutherford. 26th, Casey Campbell. Derek Paulson, 27th. 28th, Paul Ellison. Brandon Feeney, 29th. Matt Grunberg does not take a lap time, starts P30th. We'll see how he gets through this field here tonight. Race Clark, 31st. Brad Collins, 32nd. Fred Thompson, 33rd. And rounding out our field tonight, Terry Foster, the Taffy Man, in the 86. Will be starting shotgun on the field. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car, you know what that means, folks. Get up on your feet, wave your hat, wave your kid, because we are about to go racing here at the paperclip. We'll keep our eye on the front of this field, wait for the 88 to fire on off. He fires on off, and we are green flag racing here at Martinsville. Alrighty, James Miller trying to make quick work of Mark Arthur. He's already to the inside of the 12 machine. Mark, of course, stuck on the high side and spins in front of the field. Does everyone get on around him? As, we get cars heading in there late. And that will bring out some damaged cars early in this race. Lap number 2 with the caution. We were watching it live. I was watching my timing and scoring, so we'll go back and see what happened to the 12 car as they race into turn number 3 here. The 09 machine gets on in there. And that's a tough call, folks. It's a pretty bad camera angle, but from what I was seeing, it almost looked like netcode, as they weren't super close, but they met, of course, at the closest spot of the turn, that being the apex of it. As, the 09 was just diamonding just a little. Mark Arthur kind of coming in high, then low, and they definitely met in the middle. And, of course, then we got the typical Martinsville drivers not being able to see, and some heavy contact late in that caution. So we go back up to the front of the field. Jamie Walker leading the way. Now Mark Arthur deep in this field, right around the 24th position. So he will have his work cut out for him. Luckily, a lot of racing left. And we hear, folks, from the driver, Mark Arthur, claiming that yellow. So he being the gentleman there, tapping on out. And he has the damaged race car now with it. So we'll see how long of a night it is for that 12 machine as these laps rapidly click on by, folks. You won't have too much time to come down pit road, get damage repaired if you do get damaged. So all of these guys will have to keep that in mind. As the lights are already extinguished on the iRacing pace car, we are going to re-rack them, restack them, and resend them back out under the green flag conditions here in half a lap. We'll take a look at the start from the top of the tower here. Try and get a good view as the 88 gets a great start. He'll be on his own. The 09 will get a pretty good start, be able to slot down in the bottom. Now the side-by-side battle is for third. Chris Carroll got an awesome start on the high side and may be able to drag race clear of the 57. He does move the 24 into P number 3 as one car goes very wide. That is the one of Ty Marasco. Not sure if he got moved on up or whatnot, but he was definitely way high than he wanted to be and lost a few positions because of that. Has some good side-by-side racing. And, oh, man, maybe some contact. Ian Habiak with maybe a little bit of connection issues. The 21 just getting on by. As we look back a little bit further here, some battles taken underway. Side by side, the 8 and the 89, 64 and the 16, now the 5 and the 7. all side by side battling here, trying to make their way up through this field. We'll now go down trackside. As these drivers are getting more strung out, folks, but the more they get strung out, oh, one car in the wall, that is the 7 machine of Randy McAvoy. He keeps it going the right direction. As these drivers do get more spread out, folks, the quicker the leader comes on by and puts these drivers a lap down. The leader's competitor, these guys were looking at about 9 seconds ahead, so almost a half a track in front of these drivers already. As we go to the front, Jamie Walker with a comfortable lead. He's out by 1.3 seconds over James Miller, who has Chris Carroll right on his back bumper. Then Sam Bumgarden running in 4th, and Tanner Marr in the 5, rounding out our top 5. Sorry, Tanner Marr in the 4, rounding out our top 5. As we look a little bit further back in this field, Kyle Wellman in the 42, getting around Casey Campbell in the 73 machine. That will allow Terry Foster to slide on through and also take along with him Matt Gruenberg. He was last week's winner. He's the first repeat winner of the season. We'll see how he does here, as he has a lot of traffic to go through. The key with this 54 is getting through all these cars as quickly as possible without going a lap down. But right behind them is, of course, Race Clark, Matt Gruenberg's teammate. But behind Race is the 12 of Mark Arthur. So he just has to keep his front nose of that Mustang glued to the back bumper of those 2 drivers in front of him. Let them do the hard work. Let them clear the gap. Let them clear the traffic. And he can get his way back up to where he started this race. As, of course, there is still a long way to go in this 300 lapper. As right behind them, Paul Ellison gets around Randy McAvoy. That moves him up back into P number 28. So far, the biggest mover of the race so far is the 6 machine of Derek Paulson. He is up 6 positions. We saw him spin on lap number 2. Was probably going to be a little bit quicker on lap number 2, so he is making quick work and already up 6 positions here in the early stages of this Martinsville race. Now Matt Gruenberg applying the pressure to the Taffy man, Terry Foster, on the outside in the 86 machine. That will now let Race Clark go on through on the inside. Terry may have just tagged the wall just a smidge going into that corner. Now give the position to the 02 machine. As James Miller gets stuck behind some lap traffic of Fred Thompson, and with that, a chain reaction. I think Fred Thompson went around, Jason Powell also went around behind down low, so a chain reaction from our first lap traffic of the night. And we'll see the 1 and the 18 coming out the worst end of this, as we will get a replay here and see what happened to these drivers, as we're looking at the 1 here and the 18, both behind the yellow and black, or sorry, the white and black machines here, as we'll see the inside line stack up big time as the 09 machine gets into the back of the 46, the 1 of Ty Marasco, jumps on the binders in reaction to it. The 18 not as quickly on the binders, and they both go around. Same with the 46 of Fred Thompson. He also went around off the initial contact from the bumper of the 09 machine. The 09 machine got stuck there behind the lap traffic, and because of that, lost quite a few positions. Now back into P number 6. Now I gotta say, one of the cooler paint schemes out here on track, the turnaround rate is very impressive. This 3 machine of Corey Sherman painted up like the William Byron machine from last night that parked it in victory lane. So an awesome turnaround on the paint scheme to get that thing designed on up and out here for their own Martinsville race, as the NASCAR Cup Series in real life just finished up their race last night. Of course, William Byron, spoiler alert, won it in that 24 Raptor machine. Now we kind of see our own rendition of it here in Blazing Pedals, this time the Savage Edge machine. Be sure to check out savageedge.com. They'll put your name on anything. As it looks like Corey Sherman will be starting inside the top 5 here. We'll be restarting in the 5th position, as Jamie Walker jumped out to a comfortable lead there early. Now he loses all that lead. Now we'll see what kind of pace that 88 still has. The 24 machine looking very strong. Now we'll restart in the P number 2 position, and Sam Bumgarn will be starting right on the tail of our leader. So the lights are out on the iRacing pace car once again. We'll be going green next time by, folks, for lap number 30. So far, 2 yellow flags, so not too bad here as we see these drivers getting ready to fire on off. Pretty soon, folks, these drivers will have to be cautious about wheel spin on these starts. Not sure if we'll see too much this restart, but once we get a little bit deeper in this run, these drivers will have to be thinking about that, as the front 3 get away with a great start. The first side-by-side battle. Tanner Mars stuck on the outside of Dalton Kilroe. Tanner now just finding a gap. He will slot back into P number 6. Dalton Kilroe with a great restart, now up inside the top 5. As it is so tough to restart on that high side and make it work. As the 2 different driving strategies, let's say, folks, that we'll see here tonight. One is, of course, the enter late, really arc it on down with some brake, get it to that inside turtle, that red and white turtle, and kind of wrap it all the way around, kind of like we're seeing out of the 41 machine. The secondary one is kind of like what we're seeing from the 4. Enter in early, let that car drift up at the apex, and then let it cut back on down and hit that bottom again. That's why I like to call it diamonding the corner. You know, you take a straight line, get it to cut at the slowest point of the corner, which is at the apex, your center speed, and then get it to drive off in as straight as line as possible. So those will be the 2 different lines we'll see from these drivers, because everyone's going to be to that inside line if they can here tonight. As now Amanda Sherman under fire from Matt Gruenberg with that pass that moves Matt up. The biggest mover of the race so far, up 10 positions already, and looking to increase that number. And I don't think that 54 machine's stopping anytime soon. As we see a battle here, Ian Habiak down low, Paul Ellison up on the top side. These guys have been going door to door here for about 2 or 3 laps now. Looks like Ian Habiak will get the advantage. Now the 22 of Brad Collins trying to get in on the action here. Paul Ellison actually leaves the door open, so that will allow the 22 to get to the inside if he could put the power down. Not able to put the power down. And now Mark Arthur looking to be on the charge here in that 12 machine. Now he's looking for some room on the 22, as he's got both Jason Powell and Ty Marasco battling hard behind him. Those 2 are battling each other though for position. They are both 1 lap down, so they are both battling for that all-elusive lucky dog position if we do get a yellow flag sometime here soon. And this is Martinsville, folks. That'll probably happen sometime. As we see Chris Legou under fire from Josh Rutherford, the 71 machine up top with some pretty good right front damage. That was from our first yellow with the 12 spinning on around. With the 64 getting on by, that also brings the Gruenberg. He goes on by and moves up to Pete number 19. As we get a yellow flag here, folks. Quite a few cars involved on. It looks like one of the biggest impacted is the 33 of John Perkins. The 44, Aaron Bockover, with some heavy front end damage. He's missing that front nose cone here. So we will have to see what brought out this yellow flag and see what happened as we look at the 46 machine. We'll also look at the 33 of John Perkins and see what happened down this backstretch. As, oh man, it looks like the 46 just got a little bit loose. Too much wheel in that car. He was trying to make it on by, and oh man, Aaron Bockover, nowhere to go. Didn't see the 33 sliding on down, and a heavy impact to the front of that Busch number 44 machine. Also involved is this 76 of Rick Thompson. He's that other black and gray Speed Mafia machine. As we get yellow number 3 here, the 18 of Jason Powell did win that battle for the lucky dog, so he will be back on the lead lap. Now that puts the 1 machine of Ty Marasco a lap down, but a lot of those cars there on pit road will be stuck a lap down as well, not being able to beat that pace car off of pit road. And of course, another claim here tonight. Another awesome thing to hear. The 46 machine did claim that. Say, hey, that was my bad, drivers. And claims as the 88 having a little bit of connection issues here, folks. Looks like it's going to clear up, though. As I don't believe we have anyone outside of the infield care center. Looks like all the drivers that were involved still trying to make it on through. So if there's any drivers here by the end of this race that don't have a car that's still running, be sure to check. Stay by the infield care center. We'll try and chat with you for a minute here as the lights should get extinguished on the iRacing pace car here once again. And we'll be ready for some more green flag racing action. As they run right now, folks. 26 cars on the lead lap. The first one a lap down is the one of Ty Marasco. He's got quite a few cars to race with there, as we see at the top of the screen. As we'll wait for the 88 to fire on off, we'll see if he gets another great restart. He in fact does, as the 57 will try and get a nose to the inside of the 24. The 24 will drive it in deep. Make sure that doesn't happen. Side by side for third, as Corey Sherman tries to make that top side work above that 57 machine of Sam Bumgard. As these guys battling hard for that podium position. Looks like Corey Sherman may start to lose that spot. That may open up the door for the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. He is now, in fact, side by side with the 3 of Corey Sherman as they drag race down the backstretch. As we get a yellow flag here on the speedway. Looks like the 18 machine once again involved in another one. This time stays on the lead lap. We'll have to see what happened to that 18 machine, as we see them struggling for traction on off, making evasive maneuvers around the 76 of Rick Thompson as they head into one. The 18 with a very shallow entry just gets into the back of the 8 of Amanda Sherman. The 22 not seeing the check up in front, and around goes the 18 because of it. And we are back under yellow flag here once again at Martinsville. We get an update from the 42 machine of Kyle. He's on pit road. He says the 42 is out of beer, so hopefully a crew member threw one in there for him, or maybe that's a spotter talking, but might be a night for a couple, depending on how this goes for me as well. As interesting, we have Matt Gruenberg coming down pit road. He gives up some of that track position. He will be down on pit road. And he did take tires, folks. He had a 14-second stop. So that 54 short pitting, saying, hey, I'm going to take up my tires now, so when the rest of the field comes on in, I can stay out and cycle out to the front of this field, get away from a little bit of this craziness. And I like that call from the 54. I know they're going to yell at me about this, folks, but I believe there's either 5 or 6 sets of tires here for this series. It's the same amount throughout the week, so I'm going to get it here hopefully by race 10, but it's either 5 or 6 numbers, so if he uses one here, that puts him at the window for a set of tires around every 50 laps or so, so that may work out pretty well for the 54 machine as the lights are still on the pace car. Next time by, they should get extinguished. Ty Marasco was the lucky dog last time by. He will go on the lead lap. That moved the lead lap drivers up to 27. Thank goodness Michael Fox here to let me know 4 sets of tires. So I was wrong on both my numbers. So thank you, Michael. And I gotta say, makes pretty good paint schemes. Definitely can spot them here from the broadcast booth in a hurry. So as of course we got the fans cheering on Mark Arthur, Tanner Marr, and Jason Raymond. We got a few Jason Raymond fans in the stand. So that 31 machine looking pretty sporty here inside the top 10 as the 88 of Jamie Walker gets another great restart. That man's going to be hard to beat on these starts. Had a lot of practice now with these starts starting out front. As a 24 of Chris Carroll really rolls 1 and 2 very nicely inside a car length, almost to the bumper of the 88. So that 24 machine is on a mission. Still, Corey Sherman stuck on the outside. He's stuck now on the outside of the 41 of Captain Fuel Safe himself, Dalton Kilroe. That may open up the door for the 09 machine of James Miller. He's going to go to the inside, park it behind the 41, not let the 3 get on in if he can. Yeah, that's right, folks. This 31 machine is a Michael Falk actual car here. Looking pretty sporty, like I said, inside the top 10 right now. Sadly stuck on the top side, so he's going to have to get down if he can. It looks like he'll have some space behind the 17 of Brian Dees, but Jordan McAvoy trying to fill that gap there quickly. Now, Michael, I know you said you were maybe thinking about jumping out there. You got any races circled on the calendar to maybe see you out here in the 31 machine? As we look back a little bit further in this field, we got some side-by-side action here. Jason Powell, Josh Rutherford in the front row side-by-side, then the next row, TBB and Matt Grunberg. Kyle Wellman also trying to add his name in the mix here. As the nifty line, number 10 Penn State machine. I believe he pitted, and that's why he's back here. Yes, he did in fact pit on lap number 43. So a little bit of strategy. The first driver as, one couple cars around here as we are back under yellow flag here, folks. And it looks like that involved quite a few drivers. It looks like it may have started with the 73 machine of Casey Campbell. As we'll see what happened going down this front stretch. We're looking at that white, green, and blue machine, Busch Gardner machine. As, they mistimed their braking zone just a little. Terry Foster just got in the back of the 73, then the 6 gets in the back of the 86, and then it's evasive maneuvers from the rest of the field, and they do a great job getting on through it. For the most part. And that will bring out another yellow flag. As we got some takers down pit road, the strategy up front starts. Chris Carroll, the first car in from P number 2. Jamie Walker stays on out. Same with the 4109, and the 12 machine was one of the first cars down pit road, most likely to repair some damage, but he was in on lap 26, so we'll have to keep that in the back of our memory books. So this is where the field really splits on strategy, as this will be a big reshuffle. It's okay. Michigan, maybe Talladega, some bigger tracks. All right, Michael. I will be looking forward to see you at those 1.5 miles and aboves. As it looks like we got a little bit of a checkup under yellow. Looks like maybe one driver was trying to save fuel and caused a little bit of a checkup on track. So, of course, I have the replay still in half speed from our full time, as we see these drivers trying to make evasive maneuvers under yellow flag. As the lights get extinguished on the iRacing pace car, the 73 and the 22 will wave on around, or at least they should. As interesting here, they were told to stay behind the pace car, so they'll have to jump on in here, get out away from this front row. And now we'll wait for the 88 of Jamie Walker to fire on off. As, oh boy, folks, that was trouble from the start. We got a parking lot down here at the front stretch, and that was that. Man, we should have definitely thrown the yellow flag there, folks, because that was a bummer of a start. As we'll go see what happened one more time. We already see the 88 going around. We see the 6 get turned off the nose of the 54, and some heavy contact between the 64 and the 764 machine. Rear wheels off the ground with these Arca cars, with these bumpers being raised so far up that when you hit hard, it tends to lift these rear ends off the ground in a hurry. So with that hectic restart, that moves Dalton Kilroe up into P number 1, Mark Arthur in 3rd. And folks, Matt Gruenberg up to P number 3, Race Clark to P number 4, and James Miller up into 5th, or maybe those two were flipped now that they get the order right. So these Team AV boys, 3 of them in the top 5, being led by Gruenberg, who has already made his way through this field with that little bit of strategy. He is impressive, folks. As it looks like Chris Legou will be the lucky dog this time by. That will move 28 cars back on the lead lap here on lap number 71. Yep, for all the Mark Arthur fans out here, folks, a great rebound from that 12 Barbie machine as he started P number 2, spun on lap number 1, coming to lap number 2, restarted all the way back in the 30th position, and now back in P number 2. As the lights are once again extinguished on the pace car, we will re-rack them, double them up, and get ready to go green flag racing here. As it looks like most of the field ready to go. Looking a little bit better. Now we'll see how the 41 restarts on pole position. The 54 of Grunberg starts second as the 41 goes very early. That allows the 54 to get side by side with Mark Arthur, and that moves Grunberg into P number 2. Mark Arthur now to P number 3, and Grunberg hunting down the leader. As a little bit further back, some good side-by-side racing for around the 10th position. The 42 of Kyle Wellman trying to get to the inside of Corey Sherman. He gets his nose in there. They'll be side-by-side, but not too much room to go as they are side-by-side in front of them as well. That is Brian Dees and Corey Rutherford. As Corey Rutherford stuck on the high side, the 42 of Wellman will get to the inside of the 5 and have the preferred line, as now they'll drag down the backstretch. Now the 3 will sail it on in there, try and get to that inside line of the 5. He'll do that, and now that 5 keeps on slipping on back. He'll have to try and get down as quickly as possible, as now TBB to the inside. As the 55 Red Diamond Machine of Paul Ellison also getting strung out for the top side. But battle for the race lead. This is the first side-by-side battle we've had for the race lead here at Martinsville. So far, it was all the 88 of Jamie Walker, but he talks about how he has no luck. That kind of continues here tonight with that fluke restart. He is back in the 24th position. Now Matt Grunberg applying the pressure to the 41 machine here on as we approach lap number 80. As Grunberg is keeping that pressure on. While we're looking, we might as well jump in car, see what the 54 is seeing for the TRJ Karting onboard shot here of Matt Grunberg for Team AV. As Dolan Kilroe gets big time sideways, that'll open up the door for the 54 as they head into 3. Dolan just giving him enough room, trying to make the 54 make a mistake. And the 41 will be able to put down the power a little bit better from the high line. A little bit straighter shot. Now the 54 will have to just wait for another mistake from Kilroe. As Matt gets big time loose, has to really feather that throttle on off, and you see how quickly you can lose car lengths as we are back under yellow flag here at Martinsville. It looks like this may have been the 89 machine, the Dodge Mopar machine of Phil Van Fleet. We'll have to see what happened to the 89 as he's on the back bumper of Tanner Marr. Looks like the 21 machine of Randy McAvoy trying to make it to the inside. And just a little bit of contact at the closest spot of the racetrack, right at the apex. 89 machine goes on around, does an awesome job keeping it off the wall and the fellow competitors. And he'll get that thing on rolling. I want to say that was a battle right around the 13th position. As we see the race leader, Dalton Kilroe, down pit road. That will hand the race lead over to Matt Grunberg. There's only 2 cars that have not pitted yet in this field, as we see the 76 of Rick Thompson being the lucky dog for this yellow. Make that only one driver that hasn't pitted, because one of the drivers that have not pitted yet was the 09 of James Miller, as we see him dive down pit road. The other driver that has not pitted was the 64 of Josh Rutherford. He is also down pit road this time, so all drivers now have at least pitted once, whether that was just for fuel repairs. Not 100% sure, but most drivers in for at least a splash and go. As I got at least a little bit of pit strategy from the top three. Matt Grunberg came down, took 4 tires. Race Clark in second there. Only fuel. Brian Dees did take tires in that 17 machine. Same with Kyle Wellman. Kyle all the way up into P number 4. And then Corey Sherman also taking tires. So most drivers, it looks like, as we're going through the pit report, did take tires. Only a handful only did the splash and go to save a set. And now with the lights off on the pace car, we'll actually look at a kind of cool shot here. We'll go on board with the 17 machine of Brian Dees. He is starting P number 3, but we'll also look at the webcam from the gap finder himself, and we'll see him go through these gears and do these first couple laps. See what goes on in these cars as we see him grabbing the gears here in that 17 machine. He's to the inside of Race Clark. We see him floated into one here, making sure he hits his marks. Gets away with a straight run. He's doing what he needs to pick up P number 2. And now he can set his sights on the 54 of Matt Grunberg. So Brian Dees with a awesome restart. We got to see it from onboard from that 17 machine. We'll jump back on out here and try and catch some other racing action out here on track. As we look back here, Phil Van Fleet under fire from the 09. The 09 with a late pit stop, pitted on the second lap. That pit road was open, so lost quite a bit of track position. But we've seen that snap-on machine be very quick as it gets to the back bumper of the 6 of Paulson. Gives him a little bit of contact as one car loose down the front stretch. That is Brandon Feeney. Does not bring out a yellow flag. That car actually looks surprisingly clean from that contact. So he's just going to have to take care of those tires, not heat them up more than they already are. As we go back to this battle here. As now Derek Paulson looks to challenge Terry Foster. Mark Arthur around Chris Legou, who is now under fire from the 1 of Ty Marasco. We saw the 1 machine a lap down early in this race. Now has rebounded pretty well into P number 15 as they run. As one car hard into the outside wall. No yellow flag somehow, as that 86 machine of Terry Foster with some heavy damage. These guys flipping on around in front of the race leaders, and yellow flag finally comes out. They were late on that one as some heavy right side damage to the 86 machine. As we will see what brought out that yellow flag. We look at the 86 pink and blue machine and the 6. As it looks like, oh, Dalton Kilroe just barely got into the back bumper of the 86. He bounces off the 09 and sends him straight into that outside wall. Then the 33 of John Perkins tried to slide on through and got collected in that. Jason Powell gets on the binders hard and just avoids being a car involved in that one. That's with this commercial, folks. Spoiling it a little bit, folks. With this caution, we will throw it to commercial here, and I'll be back on the other side. We are back here at Martinsville, folks, and we are looking at one of those awesomely designed Michael Falk racing design machines. That'd be the 33 of John Perkins for that Torchy's. I think it's tacos. Torchy's Tacos. Always a sweet scheme. Be sure to check out Michael Falk Racing Designs on Facebook for all of your design needs. We got a little bit of Brandon Feeney update from the 38 team. He says he's trying for. We had Michael Falk coming in here saying he needs a team win for that MF Racing Designs team, and I agree. You guys need to be in victory lane. We gotta get a close-up of one of these cars sometime down in victory lane. So Feeney say he's gonna try as he restarts P number 24 in this field. Matt Gruenberg out front. Brian Dees, he's in an MF Racing Design car. He starts on the outside pole. That'll be our front row on this restart as we get ready to go. Green flag racing here on lap 101. Matt Gruenberg with a early jump that puts the 17 and the 02 side by side. Is one car loose off of 4. That's the 42 of Kyle Wellman. He is facing the wrong way on the field, and that will be a instant yellow flag. It looks like, folks, it has started. The wheel spin has bit its first driver here as we look back and see how bad the wheel spin really was from our 6th place driver. Tried to get on it hard with some steering wheel in that corner. You see it right there, folks. Load on up, get loose. And then he tags the outside wall. The 31 just barely gets in it. Does an awesome job not getting more damage from Jason Raymond. And then the rest of the field getting on by cleanly. So awesome heads up driving by the rest of the field. Wow, folks, heard radio communication from the 42. He was even in 3rd gear, so it wasn't like he was trying to really get a good acceleration in 1st or even 2nd. Usually 2nd you can get away with on fresh tires, so even a 3rd gear and that thing looped down around. So these drivers got to be very cautious jumping on this loud pedal, especially if they're in the middle of the corner like Wellman was right there. As this time by, we should see the lights get extinguished on the iRacing pace car. The 18 will get waved on around like they're supposed to. And we'll go get ready for another restart here. We've seen quite a shakeup from those pit cycles. And now quite a shakeup from these yellows. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if the 54 machine goes early again. We've seen him go right about here every time. Waiting a little bit later this time. We'll see how it works out for this driver as he waits a very long time till the green flag. He gets off with an awesome start. That'll put the 17 just side by side with the 02. They'll be side by side with Gruenberg being able to run away here from the rest of the field. Brian D's now stuck up top of the 02 machine of Race Clark. Chris Carroll from the top side down low just slides in where there was a gap in front of the 3 of Corey Sherman. So he's making sure he gets to the bottom if he can. These two still side by side. Brian not giving that spot up. Race trying his hardest down low. As Brian D is able to hold onto the spot. Now Chris Carroll will try it on the outside for that USAFirearms.com machine. And if he gets a good run off this corner, he should be able to clear the 02. Not quite enough as he drives it in very deep, folks, and then clears the 02. As I think we got a little bit of an incident back further in the field. It looks like they all get it rolling for the most part. Not sure what happened, but the 8 machine will go another lap down. We'll go to the replay and see what may have caused that. As we're looking at the 42, it looks like they're stacking up even in front. Looks like Dalton Kilroy was a little bit slow, and these guys just spinning, quote unquote, off the racing surface does not bring out a yellow flag. They all get it rolling as we are back under yellow flag this time, as we will have to try and figure out where the caution was at, as Brian Dees was trying to reel in our race leader, and it looks like the 4 of Tanner Marr may have been involved in there, as it looks like he may have gotten some help. It's pretty hard to spin it like that there, and that will bring out the yellow flag. So the 4 machine of Tanner Marr goes on around. We'll try and get one more look at it and see what happened to the 4 machine. As well, folks, he just carried a little bit too much speed. Probably had too much rear brake in it with that amount of wheel. And that thing just slowly turned on around. He was also about a quarter car length, so not super high out of the racing groove, but maybe high enough that he was just inside the marbles with the right rear. And that was enough to spin that 4 car around and bring out the yellow flag. As I get going here, it looks like we can talk to the 86 machine. He was cleared from the infield care center. We'll see if he's got a copy here, and we'll get a chance to talk to the 86 machine. We saw him take that hard hit to the outside wall. Hey Terry, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey Brett, what's up, buddy?
Oh man, just trying to call this hectic race, these short track racing, always action packed. I'm sure you figured that out there being out on track here tonight. I'm glad you're okay, Terry. You had a pretty good hit with that wall coming off of 2.
Yeah, 41 tagged me a little bit, and when I got turned to, I can't remember, I might have been a 33, I don't know, kind of finished me up. But getting 4 fresh on right now, I'm rolling her back out on the track, brother.
There we go, Terry. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear you're back, heading back out there. Hopefully, get some laps back. At this rate, you know you might be the lucky dog enough times that maybe you could even get to a lap down, maybe even be back on the lead lap.
Hey, you might be right. I tell you what, though, it's fun out here. We could clean these cautions up a little bit, man. We'd have a hell of a race going on.
Yeah, it's action packed everywhere, Terry. That is for sure. It seems like side by side racing wherever you can go. And it seems like the high lane can defend a little bit, so that's always awesome to see with the setup here at Martinsville, because that's always the tricky part, making an outside work at a short track.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of guys hold that outside line really good, man.
Alrighty, Terry. Well, if you're back out on track, I won't keep you here because it looks like the lights are extinguished on the pace car, so you have yourself a good rest of the race. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Brett.
As we look here, folks, we see Matt Grunberg gets away with an awesome start. Chris Carroll gets away cleanly, but we are back under yellow flag. It looks like maybe the one car of Ty Marasco is around here, and he'll be the victim of our current yellow here on lap number 119 as we see them going into turn number 3. The 88 machine of Jamie Walker down low. As the 88 maybe got in a little hot, just slid up enough, locked up the fronts to where they just didn't get enough grip, and just tagged the one car. Does an awesome job of evasive maneuvers, but the one machine coming out on the short end there. Chris Carroll with a great restart, folks. He is up into P number 2. And going to be challenging Matt Grunberg here as he's on fresher tires than the leader. So that's the man we were talking to just a minute ago, Terry Foster. He's back out there. That car's actually looking pretty patched up pretty well, so I got to give it to that 86 crew. You saw how much damage that car had, so for it to look like that, pretty impressive. What he wants to see is what we're seeing currently, though. Yellow flags, getting some laps back if he can. As the lights are still on the iRacing pace car, what that means is we'll get 2 laps till green. Now, once they get to the backstretch, a lap and a half. As besides our race leader, Matt Grunberg, being up 29 positions from starting P number 32, leading this way, the next biggest mover is the 5. The old Terry Labonte scheme, driven by Corey Rutherford. He is up a whopping 17 positions as he is going to be restarting in P number 8 behind the back of the nifty line Penn State number 10 machine. As this front row is going to be interesting. If Chris Carroll can get a good restart outside of that 54, we've seen him be pretty strong on this top side. So we're going to see what this 54 has to offer this 24 has to offer this 54, as Gruenberg waits here, gets a pretty good start. Looks like the 24 may be able to slide into P number 2 in front of the 17. He is, so he now sets his sights on the race leader. Further back, we are still double file as we get a yellow flag and a lot of cars involved in this one. There's a parking lot right outside of pit road. Looks like the 64 of Josh Rutherford with some heavy damage. We see that left front broken, a upper control arm on that 64 machine. We will go see what happened, as they are already stacked up in here. So we'll maybe go see if we got a further back replay from the 64. It looks like the 64 may have gotten into the back of the 6 of Paulson, and then the rest of the field heads on in there off the back bumper of maybe the 22. And that's what, folks, you got to watch out for at this place. Not only the initial caution of what may unfold, but also a secondary wreck from not being able to see, as things happen so quickly around this half-mile paperclip. As good news for 4 fans out there of Tanner Marr. He was the lucky dog that time by, so the 4 car back on the lead lap here in this race. As, oh man, folks, from iRacing, not wavering around those few cars again. Hopefully they get on it this time and get up. It looks like they will this time. So 54 will lead us again. He gets on it early, and we are back racing here at Martinsville under green. Brian Dees gets a great restart now to the inside of Chris Carroll. They battle side by side for second. Also a battle for third as well, as Corey Sherman trying to make it stick to the inside of the 54. He does. He will pick up Pete number 4 as the battle for second place rages on. Brian Dees able to get the spot, so move the 17 back into P number 2. And it seems like, folks, the toughest spot to start on the speedway is that second position. Very hard to time it right and also get the advantage on that third place car. You get one heading out of pit road there. As Corey Rutherford now looks to the inside of Ian Habick. Mark Arthur now back inside the top 10. He is currently 8th. Corey Rutherford now taking P number 9 from Ian Habiak. Habiak now into P number 10. A little bit further back, some almost 3 wide here at Martinsville. That's the 02 of Race Clark getting around the 1 and the 55. Our pole sitter Jamie Walker trying to get on through this as well as quickly as possible. Corey Sherman still under fire from the 57 of Bumgarden. He's not making it easy here. As right behind them we got the 10 machine and the 09, both looking to get around and try and catch this top 3 breakaway. As it looks like most of the field now, folks, have single filed out. Everyone starts to hit their marks, still getting back in the groove of things as the 42 of Wellman just tags the wall down the front stretch there. The one there very much playing with that throttle pedal, trying to put the power down, but also not getting into the back of the 71 of Legou as the one looks to the inside, applying the pressure. 71 makes a mistake. That opens up the inside line to the 1 machine of Mr. No Practice, but I think he got beat tonight. The 42 ran 0 laps in practice, so Mr. No Practice may have gotten out practiced here tonight. As Mark Arthur now to the inside of the 3 of the Shermanator. Looks like the 3 stuck on the outside, at least around the 09 machine. Slots on in front of the 10. And now the 12 all over the back bumper of the 09 machine of James Miller. Miller we've seen all over the running order here tonight. Started up front, was mid-pack, down towards the back, and now back up inside the top 5. We have one car down pit road. Looks like that is the 8 of Amanda Sherman. She is down pit road here. As Brian D's under fire from Chris Carroll applying the pressure. Phil Van Fleet stuck to the outside of the 02 machine. That'll leave the door open for the 88 of our pole sitter from the start of the race, Jamie Walker, looking to make his way slowly back through this field. As we see the 73 machine of Casey Campbell go a lap down here. Don Kilroe trying to get around Tanner Marr. And it looks like he's able to do it there in one corner. So move the 41 past the 4 there. As James Miller and Mark Arthur go at it down the backstretch. They touch doors even. As this is the battle for 5th on track. Mark Arthur able to get around the 09 machine, and that moves the 12 inside the top 10. He is one of the drivers on freshest tires. These two drivers here, Mark Arthur and James Miller, both pitted on lap number 84 and 85. So, whereas most of the other cars are right around the 60 to 70 mark, except for our race leader who pitted on lap number 51 and still going strong out there. Still leading the way, about 1.5 second advantage over Chris Carroll, who got around Brian D. So move the 24 into P number 2. The 17 still in the podium spot. As we get a yellow flag here at the halfway point. As a couple cars facing the wrong direction. One of those drivers, Corey Rutherford in the 5, trying to flip it on around here. And we will see what happened to this 5 car. As the 76 of Rick Thompson looking to the inside of the 5 of Rutherford. And oh man, once again just meeting right at the apex. 76 had to enter low. Tried to diamond the corner. The 5 just trying to give just enough room for that inside line. And he goes on around. Phil Van Fleet also goes around there with maybe a little bit of contact. And then with this place being so small, I had to wait forever to flip on around. And with that waiting, had to lose a lap. Now most of the field down pit road here. Looks like when it cycles all through, folks, Taylor Butcher Benjamin will be leading the way as long as he doesn't come on in. Folks, I'll throw up the other tower just to see, and we are on. I lost track of it, folks. That's why I wanted to check there. Caution number 13 of the night. So just past halfway in. Caution number 13. With this caution, we'll throw it over to commercial break, and we'll be back on the other side. As we come back to racing here, the 10 machine leading us to green. He gets away with a good start. He brings along Jamie Walker, who is now back up into P number 2 as they run. Matt Grunberg did pit that last yellow, already challenging for that third position on Kyle Wellman in the 42 machine. So most of the field that time under yellow did come down pit road and take some fuel with some tires as the 42 machine sideways off of turn number 4, and he will be facing the wrong way here on the speedway and bringing out our next yellow flag. We'll see what happened to trigger that as they come off of turn number 2 here. But first we'll look at turns number 1 and 2. The one of Marasco trying to get to the inside, and oh man, folks, that's a tough one to call, especially with that angle we saw there. And then the one machine, oh, with some heavy contact. The 3 trying to make it around. Same with the 01 going for a gap that closed on up. And a couple front runners involved in that yellow. As we see the 10 machine come down pit road, that will hand the race lead back over to Jamie Walker. We didn't get to finish the Savage Edge commercial because we were going green, folks. But if you need to put your name or logo on anything, be sure to check out savageedge.com and they'll do you on up. As the 42 of Wellman there should get waved around from this pace car with 1 to go here. And Jamie Walker will be starting on the inside. Matt Grunberg will be to his outside though. Some tough competition. Ian Habiak with a strong run right now, sitting in the 3rd position. So he's looking pretty good. Brian Dees in 4th, and rounding out our top 5, James Miller in the 09 machine. As the pace car goes in, the 42 will fire on off. And now we'll wait for the 88 to lead this field to green. As we get the green flag very early that time, Matt Gruenberg gets a awesome jump, and he will reclaim the race lead. Habiak all over the back bumper of the 88. He will defend that inside line and keep P number 3, James Miller, up into P number 4, and Brian Dees losing some spots on that start. Now battling side by side for that 5th position with Corey Sherman as we get another yellow flag here, folks. And some more cars stopped on the front stretch. It looks like Chris Legou, one of the drivers. We'll see what brought it on out. We'll keep an eye on the drivers in front of him. As it looks like, oh, the 22 and the 8 just get together enough down the front stretch. The 71 sees the gap down low, tries to shoot for it, and it closes up very quickly here at Martinsville. And that will bring out caution number 15 of the night. Now we should be able to have time for the full Savage Edge this time. So we'll try it again here, folks, and we'll go to commercial break here.
Shut up and sit down.
As we are back here at Martinsville, the paperclip, the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car. That means we are going green next time by. Matt Grunberg got an awesome start on the outside. Now we'll be restarting on the inside as he goes super early. We are back racing here at Martinsville. Jamie Walker will keep P number 2, and James Miller challenging for P number 3 on the outside of Ian Habiak. As the 09 machine goes from the top to the bottom, making sure he defends that position. And that opens up the inside door for the 17 on the 3. They battle side by side for P number 5 on the speedway. And then right behind that battle, the 12 of Mark Arthur, just waiting for one of these cars to get an advantage. Get on clear for the most part and see if he can make his way through as well. As the 17 of D's clears himself. The 3 tries to shut the door. The 12 tries to drive it on in. And Sherman able to get the run. Now he just has to go down low, take that line away from the 12. And he's kind of doing it, but Mark Arthur keeping the pressure hot and heavy on that number 3 Savage Edge machine. As you look to the inside and contact, the 3 will go around. Same with the 57 machine. The 3 gets it on rolling pretty good, but there is a parking lot down low, folks. A lot of cars stuck, including the 6 up in the air and on the right side of the 57 machine. So we will look at what happened there as Corey Sherman gets tagged going into 1. But I'm more curious about what happened as the 57 machine, trying to avoid the wreck, too much on the rear binders, and loops it. And here comes the rest of the field down low with some heavy contact. Cars piling up down low, and that's what caused the big wreck down low. As we do got a question. About 2 yellows ago, we were asked, why was that not a jump start on the 54 as he got that awesome start from the top side? Well, there's one theory I had, and it's the lap down car actually triggered the green flag very early in the restart zone, like the middle of the corner. The 88 was not anticipating it going green that early. The 54 saw the green lights and jumped on it, and got a better reaction time. So even though the 88 is supposed to lead the way, iRacing through the green very early, and once it's green, it's anyone's race to the line. So that's kind of what happened with the 88. So his luck still not the best, but making the most of it as he still is running P number 2 on the speedway. As this field continues to stay on their toes. Like we said before, folks, you got to stay up front to stay out of the carnage, but it seems like no place is really safe here tonight, as we've had stuff happen all over the track. But some good news. If we go green to the end, folks, we get about 40 minutes of straight racing action, so we'll have to see if we're able to do that. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car, the 21 will once again be waved around here right before the start. Now the 88 could technically do what Gruenberg did and get him, but the 54 fires off early, prevents that from happening. Knew the green was coming out early and timed that perfectly. Now a battle for second place here. James Miller down low, Jamie Walker up top. Jamie Walker just has his nose to the right rear quarter panel of the 09, but the 09 with the preferred lane will be able to squeeze on around him, move the 09 to P number 2. Now Jamie Walker is in third, but has Brian Dees right on his back bumper. As Mark Arthur maybe had an issue there back in P number 14 as a run, but now Jamie Walker puts the fight back to James Miller. They are side by side here once again for second place on the speedway. As the 88 now has the preferred line down low. Brian D is going to have to stay right on the back bumper here of the 88 to get that third position away from James Miller. They just need a mistake out of either of these two drivers as they come up to the back bumper of Tanner Mark. He had to serve a penalty. He's a lap down right in front of this battle for second place. These two have been door to door about 3 laps now. Neither of them really getting an advantage The 88 slowly pulling on away, but the 09 gets such good runs off the corner that they are even, like I said. Now we see the 71 of Lagoon now in front of these guys as well. Now all come down to where these lap cars go. Do they go high or low? Which car are they going to use for a pick? As the 09 starting to lose position to the 88, he jumps down right in front of Brian Dees and is able to defend that position. So with these two battling for a second, that has allowed Matt Gruenberg to open up almost a 2-second lead already here at Martinsville. He wants this thing to go green to the end with that gap, especially with some lap cars in between as well. We look back a little bit further on the speedway here. Kyle Wellman to the inside of Corey Sherman. That is for P number 8 as they run. He's able to get the position now. Dalton Kilrow will dive to the inside as well and try and take P number 9, and he does just that. Corey Sherman now moves to P number 10, able to find a gap, get down back to the bottom of the speedway. Now Dalton Kilrow applying the pressure to Kyle Wellman. They're going to have to make this quick if they don't want the 3-2 jump back in this fight. So the 42 is going to have to get to the bottom right now, and he does just that. So Kyle Wellman only losing a position, which is a very good thing here at Martinsville. You can definitely be on the wrong side of the freight train in a hurry, getting stuck on that high side. As with how the field is running currently, folks, we have only 15 of the 33 drivers out on track, or probably closer to 30 drivers out on track on the lead lap. So about half the field on the lead lap as they run here on lap 194 of 300. Now Dalton Kilrow gets to the inside of Ian Habiak. This is the battle for 7th on the speedway. At 41 looking pretty good, picking up spots and putting them down. One of the latest cars on pit road, last pitted on 176. Most cars around him pitted on that lap 150. So that 41 has some fresher tires than the rest of the field. The question is, what is a fuel window? Can that 41 make it to the end? We know they can go about at least 100 laps with some yellows. We saw the 54 do that. He pitted on lap 52, and I want to say he then pitted on lap 152. So as Corey Sherman falls out of the top 10, Corey Rutherford gets on around him. Now Paul Ellison in that red diamond machine looking to go on the attack here. And two big rebounds of the night. Ty Marasco up inside the top 5 as they run. He was caught a lap down and now made it back inside the top 5. But Jason Powell, maybe even more impressive. He's been the lucky dog, I want to say, around 3 times now, folks. And he is running in the 6th position, but now under fire from the 41. And with some green flag racing, folks, how turn it over to everyone's fan favorite. We'll do some turn 3, crank it up as we see the 41 get around the 18. And we'll go crank it up for a few laps and let the cars do the talking. As I say we're doing that, we get a yellow flag, folks, so we'll save that for a different time, as it looks like the 57 of Sam Bumgarn may have been the cause for that caution, as he's still stuck down low, as we see him already sideways on the top side. And for the most part, it looks like the field gets on around him cleanly, so we'll see what happens. Here we go, folks. We'll see what happens to the 57 machine of Sam Bumgarn as we head into turns number 1 and 2. As it looks like, folks, just a little bit too much rear brake, and that thing started to come around on him and finish the spin, and that will be a yellow flag. So most of the front runners down pit road, the ones that did not come in, Kyle Wellman, Mark Arthur, Jordan McAvoy, all staying out there as of right now. We'll have to see if they decide to stay on out, but with these guys pitting, I think they can make it to the end. So I think most people, this will be the last scheduled stop if they can. As Matt Grunberg won the race off of pit road from the cars that pitted. James Miller second, Jamie Walker third off pit road, Brian Dees fourth, and Ty Marasco rounds out the top 5 off of pit road. As it looks like the top 3 stays on out, does not go down pit road. The rest of the field behind came on down pit road, and all of them took 4 fresh General tires, as well as filling that thing up with fuel. As the lights get extinguished on top of the iRacing pace car, we will rack them up here and get ready to go back green flag racing. As it will be Kyle Wellman leading the way, Mark Arthur to his outside, Matt Grunberg and Jordan McAvoy row number 2, and Jamie Walker with James Miller in row number 3. Get ready for a wild restart, folks. Whole bunch of different strategy. We'll wait for the 42 to fire on off. And he gets away with a great start here, folks. He's out in front by 2 car lengths over the 12 of Mark Arthur. Now Matt Grunberg trying to make the top side stick. As he's able to make that top side stick, get around the 21, the 88, stuck in the wall just a little bit, gets it unstuck just before the corner entry, and able to keep that position. They are battling hard for that 4th position, but the top 3 slowly starting to run away. As one car sideways, that is James Miller. He gets into the inside wall with a little bit of contact, but keeping that thing facing the right direction. So we will stay green. We'll jump up to the front here as Grunberg applying the pressure to Mark Arthur, trying to get this second position before Jamie Walker catches the back bumper. It's a lot of cars loose off of turn number 4. That was 18 of Jason Powell. We saw it get very out of shape. As Grunberg able to make that inside stick, he's able to roll that apex so well. He gets around Mark Arthur now. He sets his sights on the race leader of Wellman. Jamie Walker also through here, and now to the back bumper of the 54. The 54 to the inside of Wellman. He will be clear off of turn number 4. Matt Grunberg back the race leader. Jamie Walker now following through the gap as Mark Arthur maybe got into something there. He brings out the yellow flag. We'll have to see what happened to the number 12 machine as he was running in P number 4. And it looks like folks just goosed it a little bit too hard with the amount of wheel he had in it. And that was enough to bring out the yellow flag here on lap number 215 of 300. We'll go have a caution check here in a second. But first, let me know what your guesses are for the night. Be sure to put them in the chat. Let me know. We'll see who's over and under. I'm saying close. We're say we're close to 17. As we see quite a few takers down pit road. Everyone that stayed on out the last time came on down to get some tires and to fill it up with fuel to make it to the end of this race. As we look here, we on our caution number 18 of the night here at the Paperclip. As we look through this field, it looks like the fastest lap time so far done tonight has been by our second place driver, Jamie Walker, with a 19.61, but Matt Grunberg with the second quick with a 19.65. So those two drivers very close on the speed chart. As the lights are extinguished once again on the iRacing pace car, Grunberg has done an awesome job here tonight mixing up his restart positions where he decides to go. We'll see if he goes early, late, in the middle. He's got a lot of time to choose from when that pace car pulls on in from pit road on the backstretch, and he fires on off, gets another great restart, and we are back racing. Jamie Walker able to get down to the inside. Ty Marasco now up into P number 3 on the night. Jason Powell now trying to get P number 4 from the 17 of D's. Side by side battle for P number 4. D's holding strong up top, and we are back under yellow flag. It looks like the number 8 of Amanda Sherman with some more trouble. We will go to the replay and see what happened to her. As it looks like she got to the back bumper of Mark Arthur with him spinning. Also sent her around, and that brings out the caution flag. As we have Brian Dees coming down pit road. So he will give up that top 5 position. We are under caution number 19 of the night. As we approach 75 laps to go here at Martinsville, it looks like the 6th machine of Derek Paulson will get the lucky dog. He may move the lead lap car count to 18. Looks like we got no one checked out from the infield care center, so no one to talk to here. As we have about a lap and a half till we go back green flag racing here. This has turned into a race of attrition for all of these drivers out here tonight. We've seen a lot of drivers all through the timing and scoring tonight. I don't think we've had one consistent driver at the front nor the back. As the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car, we'll get ready to go green flag racing here, and we'll see how long we can keep it that way. As Matt Gruenberg has some new faces to his outside and behind him. Top 5 looking like Gruenberg, Marasco, Powell, Walker, and Habiak. As the 54 machine gets an awesome restart. He goes very early, gets a huge jump. As I think further in the back, we got a little bit of an issue. We got some drivers just getting it rolling here, and they are pretty close to the race leaders. We'll have to see what happened down this backstretch, as they are still green flag racing here. It looks like the classic accordion in effect, as the leader went very early, changing it on up, and I assume one driver had to get some wheel spin, as one driver already around. That's a 38, so not sure what happened there, as we'll go back live racing here, as Ty Marasco trying to hold off Jamie Walker. Jamie Walker restarted in 4th, now up to 3rd, and trying to make it 2nd again. As I agree, Big Phoenix, the 8 machine of Amanda Sherman, she's got the attrition down. She's been all around, been beat up, but still out there turning the laps. So I give her a lot of props here as we see her go a lap down from that incident on the restart. Nowhere for her to go. As 18 of Jason Powell into the inside wall hard. He's able to keep that thing going in the right direction, but may lose a spot or two and also damage that number 18 machine. As we see the damage to that inside door number. As they are almost 3 wide for a second, they get on through. And James Miller, a man on a mission here, pitted on 215, one of the cars with the freshest tires, as he now sets his sights to this 18. Matt Grunberg trying to put the 22 machine of Brad Collins another lap down. Brad trying to stay only 1 lap down, but it looks like he may lose that battle. But with these two side by side, it's Len second and third catch the race leader. As the 22 gets big time loose, somehow keeps that thing in the right direction. Ty Marasco has to make very big evasive maneuvers. That opens up the door for Jamie Walker, and they are side by side for second place here. Ty Marasco, Mr. No Practice, trying to get it done here. He's in the podium. Both cars sail it on into one. Both of them slide on up, but Jamie Walker loses the position, tries the crossover. He's there down low now. And what a run into the corner. Makes it stick and gets the pass done within a corner. So give P number 2 back to the 88 machine. Now Ty Marasco has to hit his marks and not let the drivers behind him reel him on in. Rick Thompson stuck on the top side. Dalton Kilroy able to get around for P number 8. He's going to shut the door on Jordan McAvoy in that 21 machine. As Ian Habiak driving the wheels off that 16 machine. We saw him get sideways off the corners, kept his foot in it, but sadly stuck on the top side, so he's going to have to get down if he wants to be able to defend these positions. As it looks like the 16 machine stuck in the wall glue up top, that right rear quarter panel, just enough to drag it and get it to stick, and now that right rear is hot for that car, so he's got to get down to the inside, take it easy, let that tire cool on off, and then he can think about turning it back up. Up front, no change. Matt Grunberg about 1.5 seconds in front of Jamie Walker. Jamie Walker pretty much matching the lap time. We'll go take a look at the lap time history from these two and see the difference. Pretty similar on the lap times. Walker just a smidge faster than Grunberg, about 0.06 of a second, so going to be tough to reel in that leader with that, but that might help a little as we get another yellow flag. That's not what Jamie Walker wanted to see. So tough to restart on that outside lane, as we will have to see what brought out the yellow. Looks like maybe the 42 of Kyle Wellman may have been involved in this one. As we see the 42 get in the wall on corner entry, that was enough to upset the car. We see him kind of dancing around with it, gets on the throttle a little too aggressively, gets the rear tires to kick out from him, and doesn't fully loop it, but somehow we get a yellow from that. I don't understand it, folks. Race control a little inconsistent here tonight with the caution calls from iRacing, so we'll have to see what's up with them as all the leaders down pit road being led by, of course, the 54 of Gruenberg. He's away from his stop. He's already going down the pit road. Jamie Walker heads to stall number 1. So far, we have 4 cars staying on out. We'll see if they decide to fully stay on out as we see Rutherford dive on in. Looks like Dalton Kilroy will stay on out. Brian Dees, as well as Mark Arthur and Brandon Feeney. Looks like Feeney with a... He was the one that pitted the most recently, but not during that yellow flag. As we close in on 50 laps to go, folks, it's still anyone's game. We can see how quickly things change. It just takes a little bit of contact, and you're to the back of the lead lap cars, so still a lot of racing action to be had here as we approach 50 to go. I think we've had hit over 20 yellows here tonight. As we get the running order all figured on out here on track. Top 5 a little bit shaken up here. Dalton Kilroy leading the way. Brian D second. Mark Arthur third. Brandon Feeney fourth. And Matt Gruenberg, the first car on fresh tires, will restart in the 5th position. As the lights are extinguished here on lap 250, folks, we get ready to go back racing. And we now approach the point, I hate to say it, of a little bit more taken, a little bit less given. We'll have to see how these drivers handle that here. As we get ready to go back to some more racing action here at Martinsville. The iRacing pace cars in on pit road. Now we'll wait for the 41 to fire on off. He can do it whenever he chooses. And he is off. He gets a great restart. Brian Dees also with a fantastic restart. He's able to hold on to second. Matt Gruenberg now to the inside of the 38. He's able to wrap and roll that bottom like no one else. Now he sets his sights on the 12 of Arthur. But he's got Jamie Walker right on his back bumper. One of the best cars on the short run speed. He's shown it all throughout the night. Top of the board in practice, top of the board in qualifying. We'll see where that 88 Mountain Dew machine ends up here by the end of the night. As Ty Marasco gets big time loose off at 2, throws the block on the 18, but we get a yellow flag further on in the back. It looks like the 57 machine of Bumgarn with some heavy front end damage. We'll have to see what happened to this driver. as it looks like the '09 machine of Miller tries to get onto his inside. Both of them going for the same real estate. They get through cleanly. Looks like the 57 machine tried to jump on it a little too hard. And oh man, that thing snapped around hard, and a big impact from that 57 machine. And that will once again bring us under yellow flag here for the 21st time tonight. I'm going to go grab a water, folks. It's going to be a non-stop racing action. Probably going to be a lot to call here in these as this race finishes on up as we start getting close to the closing stages. So I'll throw it to commercial. I'll be back on the other side. As we come by trackside here at Martinsville once again, got to check out some sweet looking schemes from Michael Falk Racing Designs. As we got the lap car coming on. I thought they were coming on around the Lucky Dog, so not sure who it is this time, but we have 18 cars still on the lead lap here. As this time by, we should see the lights get extinguished on the iRacing pace car, and we will try it again here. As Dalton Kilroy will once again lead us to green flag. Brian Dees will be to his outside. Row number 2 will be Mark Arthur, Matt Grunberg. Row number 3, Jamie Walker and Ty Marasco. We'll see when the 41 Captain Fuel Save goes. He goes very early, and we are back. Green flag racing here at Martinsville. Mark Arthur trying to get to the inside of Dees, able to get the position a little bit on him. Now we'll have to see who gets the run off the corner, but this is what Kilroy wants to see. Them battling hard for a second so he can build a bit of a buffer. Grunberg just wants to get past these cars as quickly as possible. He's to the inside of the 17. Looks like the 88 will follow suit down low. As it's so hard to run this top side, folks, and make it work because you can't drive it in deeper than the car on the inside because you'll just go straight, get up in the marbles, and then you'll lose so many positions. The only thing you can do is try and pinch down that inside guy just at the apex and get a good run off. The problem with that, if you do that and there's some net code or contact, the car on the outside always loses, will always get turned. So it's a bit of a two-edged sword there. As Matt Grunberg to the inside of Mark Arthur. This is the battle for second on track. Now Jamie Walker trying to fit his nose to the inside of the 12 here. He will have a run going into one. Arthur will give him some space. Now a battle for second as we see Grunberg chasing down the leader here once again. Jamie Walker trying not to let Gruenberg get away from him if he can. As Mark Arthur hanging on to fourth place as they run. Dalton Kilroe still out in front, but he throws a big block on Gruenberg. They'll go side by side into one. Gruenberg will be able to roll that middle on those new tires. Dalton Kilroe trying his all to keep this lead here, but I think it'll be taken by the 54. Now Jamie Walker to the inside for second place. He's going to follow Gruenberg on through with these guys battling. That's when the cars behind catch on up. This may open up the door for Arthur to maybe even squeeze to the inside of the 41 here. But Jamie Walker does get clear of the 41. Now Mark Arthur to the inside. Don Kilroe tries to close the door, but he can't. He's there. Now Ty Marasco trying to get in on the action. He's going to try and take fourth place away from the 41. So Dalton Kilroe goes from leading the race to in 2 laps all the way back down to 5th position. Now a battle for the race lead. Matt Gruenberg under fire from Jamie Walker. That 88 trying everything he can. He's driving the wheels off that thing, trying to put the pressure on Gruenberg. He knows if he can get him stuck to the outside, he can make him use up his stuff and maybe, just maybe, can get stuck on the outside of the freight train. And Mark Arthur taking care of his stuff in 3rd, trying to let these leaders battle it on out and maybe can take advantage. As Jamie Walker once again to the inside of the 54. These guys are going at it hard with 30 laps to go here at Martinsville. This is the battle of the race on track right here. Jamie Walker, fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, trying to get it done on the Gruenberg. Gruenberg trying to make it 2 in a row. As, oh my goodness, we get a yellow flag. This was just getting good, folks. As it looks like the 7 machine of Randy McAvoy there. We see him rolling up to speed down low. Looks like he was the cause of the caution for this most recent one. And this is going to hurt Jamie Walker starting from that difficult 2nd position. That's not what he wanted to see, as he was side by side with the 54. Now all these drivers will cool on down their tires and we'll try it again here inside of 25 laps to go. But first we'll throw it to our final yellow, or final commercial, hopefully final yellow as well, from our race portion of the night.
Shut up and sit down.
And we are back here at Martinsville, folks. We got a replay here on screen, and we're looking at the blue and gold number 7 machine. Looks like he gets in there too hot under braking, and that thing just snaps on around with that much right hand steer in the car. Gets the old whip wake going, and that's what brought out our yellow flag for this most recent time. We are back, getting ready to go. iRacing pace cars in. It's a little bit of a bummer for that yellow to come out with a one-car spin with this battle for the race lead, but we'll see how this unfolds here with 24 laps to go when they hit the start-finish line. The 54 gets a great start. Looks like Jamie Walker's able to get down to the bottom. That's what he needs to do on the start, and he does exactly that. Now he's got to try and reel in the 54 machine of Gruenberg and then reset him back up here in 20 laps or less. Can he do it? As further in the back here, we got cars all over the place, and James Miller gets tagged, somehow keeps that car facing the right direction. They are 3 wide as everyone tries to get on the loud pedal. Corey Sherman goes around the high side, makes it stick, and then more contact. This time Corey Sherman does go around off the back bumper of the 09 machine. They will stop on track. And this will keep the caution ticker increasing. Like we said, folks, it's all take and no give as we now get inside of 25 laps to go. As we saw the 09 machine of James Miller get tagged in 1 and 2, and then stuck 3 wide in 3 and 4, and then tags the 3. So a crazy amount of stuff unfolded, but we'll watch the 3 wide go into 2 wide, and then the incident that brought out the yellow flag. Both of these drivers just trying to get back into grips, and the 09 machine just rolled the apex a little bit too much. Front end just took off enough just to tag the 3. And at this place, any sort of rear end contact, especially with these Arca cars, these things are going around in a hurry. It looks like the 71 machine of Chris Legou is the lucky dog for this current caution. He will get a lap back. It looks like he's still at least another lap down. Not quite sure how many. You have to keep an eye on the scrolling ticker. But Gruenberg's got to be starting to sweat a little bit. Same with Jamie Walker. These guys do not want to be seeing restarts. Restarts are always stressful, especially being on the front row, because one mistake, one missed shift, one tire spin, and your race could be over or give up a handful of positions. As a little bit of info for the finishing of this race, Matt Gruenberg trying to make it 2 in a row, the first driver to do so this season if he can get it done. But he's the only repeat winner. He's going to try and make it 3 wins if he can get it done tonight. Jamie Walker, so hungry for a win. He's been fast at all the tracks we went to. Has had some bad luck in that 88 machine, trying to get it done here tonight for the first win of the season and lock himself into the playoffs. Mark Arthur already has a win, but wants to add his name to that prestigious list of multi-time winners this season. Can he get it done in Ty Marasco? We've seen him on the podium before, but trying to get it done here tonight. He will restart in the 4th position. As Gruenberg jumps early again, he gets an awesome start. He will check out by quite a few car lengths over Jamie Walker, who's now has to reel him in from a half a second back. Mark Arthur trying to make it on the inside as we got one car around. That's the 21 of Jordan McAvoy. So, as old DW Darrell Waltrip said, cautions breed cautions. And that is definitely the case here tonight. As we go to the replay, we'll watch what happened to the 21 machine as he heads into turn number 1 for the first time after the restart. As we see him get on into the corner, and oh man, the 6 machine carrying a lot of speed to the inside. I don't think the 21 even knew he was going to be there. And some heavy contact after the spin between the 21 and the 17. So some late race drama unfolding here. As we that time by, we get 14 laps to go here, folks. So now the question is, where does the 54 decide to go? Does he keep on mixing it up, or does he start just consistently going early? Because it's going to be really hard to even get a good run with him if he continues to go as early as he did that last time. It really spreads out the field, especially behind him. And if I'm the 54, I'm going as early as I can. I'm trying to make the minimum amount of variables to lose this race as possible. The lights are still on the iRacing pace car. When we go green, it'll be 10 laps to go, folks. 5 miles left in this race around the half-mile paperclip. Alrighty, folks, this is where the gloves come off. It's all take and no give when we get inside of 10 laps to go. We'll see how this field makes it on through as we get ready to go. Green flag racing here once again at Martinsville. Gruenberg will control the start. We'll see when he decides to go. He's going to at least go later than he did last time. He goes right around the apex. That puts him out to about a 3 car length jump over the 88 machine. Not quite as big as the last time, but still a nice gap. Mark Arthur now slots into P number 3. He's able to hold that off as we get a yellow flag here. It looks like the 4 machine of Tanner Marr getting up to speed. Same with the 6 of Derek Paulson. So we will see what brought out the yellow flag as they head into turn number 1 once again from a restart. We see the 4 machine of Tanner Marr getting it woed on up into turn number 1, and just missed his braking point. trying to outbrake the 44 of Bach over. Had too much rear brake and got around sideways. And then the 6 also gets just tagged a little bit and makes some heavy contact with the left rear into the wall. So one car with damage, but not the car that brought out the yellow flag. As these guys continue to click off the laps here under yellow. I have a feeling, folks, we'll probably see a green-white checkered if I had to guess, but we will have to see as Philip Van Fleet gets the lucky dog that time by. We're now up to 20 cars back on the lead lap here. As we are with single digits to go. When we take the green flag, folks, I think it'll be 5 laps to go. We'll see the open palm from the flagman with the green flag. So we will have to see how this unfolds. If Jamie Walker can get to the back bumper of the 54, will he do anything with it? As it looks like the 6 machine will be waved around here with 1 lap to go on in front of the leaders. Our top 5 as they run looking like Matt Grunberg, Jamie Walker, Mark Arthur, Ty Marasco, Dalton Kilrow. From there we got in 6th Jason Powell, Rick Thompson 7th, Kyle Wellman in 8th, Taylor Butcher, Benjamin 9th, and Corey Rutherford rounding out the top 10. So some names we've seen all over the timing and scoring here tonight. Near the top here once again, but some drivers outside of the top 10 that are looking to get back in there. As that time by, we saw the open palm from the flagman. 5 laps to go, and with this restart, we'll be inside of 5 laps to go. So we seen him not make it around past turn 1. We'll see if that's the case again as Grunberg gets a great start. This time Jamie Walker pretty good with the reaction time. One of the closest starts from the 88. This is what he needs. He needs it to go green here. Jamie Walker has some great speed in that machine. He's got to hit his marks for these last couple laps, keep the pressure on, and hope from a mistake from Grunberg. We'll find out here with 3 laps to go. So far, most of the top 10 single filed on out. Everyone holding their own, trying to hit their marks, make sure they don't give it away in any sort of moment. As we see popsicle sticks up in the air for these drivers. 2 laps to go. Matt Grunberg continues to lead the way. Jamie Walker trying to reel him on in. Mark Arthur in 3rd, hanging on to that spot. As the 88 will get 2 more corners to try his luck. Grunberg will see the white flag. This race will be official. As we see the 88 rolling around here, trying to make it work. Here's his last ditch attempt. Going into 3 here. He's too far back to get to him. It looks like Matt Grunberg will make it 2 in a row. He'll get it done as there is a big wreck down the front stretch. Holy. Oh my goodness, folks. There is oil on the speedway, and there is cars everywhere. Oh my goodness. As we'll try and see what happened, as they are already flipping down the front stretch. Holy smokes, folks. This had a big incident. We'll try and see what happened as McAvoy And it looks like the 17 of D's wrecking on the white flag lap. The race goes official at that point. Cars continue to pile on in. And then the leaders finish it on up in there as they weren't lifting, trying to get to the line. So a huge incident after the line. We got a car up and over. But Matt Gruenberg, that thing ain't passing tech, but he able to park it down in victory lane. That thing's seen better days, but he was able to get it on done. He's able to do a burnout for the fans. Look at that thing go. As we will go. We'll go to commercial break as these guys get it on rolling, and we'll be back on the other side from the iRacing commercial to talk to our top three.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back on the other side, and we're going to dial up our third place finisher, Mark Arthur, in the 12 machine. Mark, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here. Oh, Mark, do we got a copy here?
I'm sitting here not pushing the button.
Oh, man, the classic. Mark, how was that car? We saw you with the up and down night. You were caution number 1 of the night, but able to rally on back to the P number 3. Tell me a little bit about your night here.
Well, first and foremost, I want to apologize to everybody for how much calamity that was during that race. It was a lot of us, but it was a little bit of iRacing. I don't know, it was doing weird stuff. It wasn't putting the wave back cars by. That last time, Derek went a lap down under caution, and it put him behind the pace car, which I don't know what was going, but then sometimes it waved them. It was so weird, and it wouldn't let us give guys EOLs with 1 to go. It would tell us you can't give EOL unless when you're not under caution. While we were under caution, it was so strange, the stuff that was happening tonight. But I think iRacing's got a little work to do.
Yeah, I agree. There was a couple of calls, and even the yellow flags were a little inconsistent too. That, yeah, I know what they did in this lap update, but I think they need to go back in their patch notes a little bit because it definitely was a little bit strange. But it made an eventful night and definitely a race of attrition, I think, for each and every one of these drivers out here tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it was still fun, but like I said, my car was good. I only changed tires once through the whole race. I think everybody else was on newer tires. I had 30 lap older tires than those 2 leaders. I knew I didn't have nothing for them. I was just telling Jamie, hey, I'll give you a lot of room here. I was just trying to make sure I finished third in front of Ty, and because I knew I wasn't going to hold off Matt or Jamie. I mean, they're too good, and I thought with older tires I may be able to hold off Ty, and I did. But I wish it would have been better. I mean, I think I had a self spin or two myself, and got into Corey one time. I think he came down, but I haven't looked at the replay, so it felt like that anyway out my windshield. But I don't know. We'll have to regroup after this one and do better at the Daytona 24. Hey, I can guarantee there'll be no cautions during that race.
Yep, that will be the case. Well, yeah, Mark, it was definitely fun to see you wheel this thing through this field a couple times you did, and especially hold off those guys with those 30-lap older tires, or if not more. Definitely was pretty impressive to see. But you got to restart on that inside lane, which seemed to be very important here tonight. Was that the case?
Oh yeah. That's why I was happy sitting in third, because if they had a caution, I got to start on the inside again. If I'd have been on the outside, I wouldn't have been able to hold Ty off. And the setup was like weird. It would hook up really fine on the bottom, but it was like sometimes like right after the apex there on the outside, when you're in the gas and straightening the wheel, it just wanted to rip the rear end around on you. So you had to be real careful with that. But I don't know. We kind of got lucky being able to come back through the field like that after spinning out, and we didn't get killed on that first spin out. But that was on me. A couple of them were on me. So I can't talk about anybody else, but we definitely got to work on that.
All righty, Mark. Well, before we let you go and celebrate this podium position here tonight for yourself, I'm going to go give the mic over to you, and you can thank for whoever you need to from this 12 team tonight. I know you got a lot of fans there, like always, cheering you on.
Yeah, I like to thank my mom and sister first and foremost for showing up each week, and especially after a excruciating race like that. It was probably a long race to watch, and we thank TRJ Karting, of course, for being on board with us for I think the past 4 or 5 seasons. They've been a great title sponsor. If anybody needs anything, go to trjkarting.com for shoes, gloves. I mean, they do some sim racing stuff. I thank Michael Falk Racing Design for painting my car, Butt Kicker for coming on board. We still got to get a Butt Kicker race in here pretty soon, and Savage Edge Graphics. They'll put your name on anything. Other than that, have a good weekend, guys. Everybody have a good Easter.
All righty, Mark. Thank you very much. You have yourself a great rest of your night, and go celebrate this third position here for you.
Thanks, Brett.
All righty, that was our third place finisher. Now we'll talk to our runner-up driver. Jamie, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
All righty, man. So you're back talking to me. So this race, once again, a little bit of up and down. It seemed like the bad luck struck you a couple times, but able to come back with the second place. Battling Gruenberg side by side there in the closing laps, and then we got that yellow flag. I'm like, man, the racing was just getting good there. How was this car? Your quickest in practice, quickest in qualifying. Seemed like you had a lot of speed again.
Yeah, this car was really good on the long runs, and I hate for those cautions to come out late. And like I said, I had my chance there. Just I couldn't quite capitalize on it when I was there.
Yeah, Jamie, but to be racing Gruenberg like that, always impressive. It's always awesome to see that 88 machine out there towards the front of the field, because you're definitely a driver to beat when he shows up here for the grid. Tell me a little bit. What were you doing to make you that quick compared to Gruenberg? It seemed like that 88 just had a ton of traction off the corners. Was that the case?
Yeah, I was playing on brake bias. Early in the runs, I'd have to change it, and then it'd start getting a little bit tighter, so I'd have to change it back to where it was, and that's where I'd take off, and that's where I'd gain a lot of my time. And I was able to rotate through the center of the corners a lot better than what everybody else was. And like I said, I was close. I had my chance. I was under them. I thought about, I could bump them. I'd give them payback from New Hampshire, but it's like, no, I don't race like that. I gotta race them clean. But it's still in the back of my mind.
I was going to say, I was thinking that too. Never said it over the broadcast, but I was thinking that a little bit. I said, oh, man, these two I know have gotten into already once a season. I wonder if we'll see anything here at Martinsville, because this would be the place to do it. But I always respect a clean racer. Got to wait for them to make a mistake and try and capitalize. But, yeah, Jamie, awesome job here, second place, especially with the up and down night and coming with a second. I mean, it does get a little bit better if you park it in victory lane, but still, from everything that went on. I'm pretty proud of you up in the booth.
Yeah, it's getting better. What was it? Third last week, second this week. Who knows? Maybe we got something coming next week.
There you go. Keep on improving those positions, and as long as you keep on talking with me, that's always a good sign throughout the season. So, Jamie, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you to thank whoever you got to here tonight.
Well, I've got to thank everybody on the Mountain Dew crew. Corey Rutherford, he's standing by me and painted this car for me. I can't thank him enough. Everybody in the Blazing Pedals, TRJ Karting Racing Series. It's just been an awesome up and down season. I'm just hopefully things start getting turned around, and can't thank you in the booth. You watch us get around here and make fools of ourselves sometimes, and watch good racing sometimes. So.
Yep, that's the case. I appreciate all your drivers coming out here, putting on a show, because if it wasn't for you guys, I'd have nothing to do on a Sunday night. So, Jamie, you have yourself a great rest of your night, and hopefully be talking to you again here in the booth as your luck hopefully changing for the better, it seems like.
Yeah, just long, good, consistent runs. I should make my way in.
Yep, that is for sure. You have yourself a great rest of your night, Jamie.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Alrighty, that was our second place finisher. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane to Matt Gruenberg and chat with him with that damage. Man, it makes me laugh every time looking at that car, how beat up it is. Matt, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet here in the booth.
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, man. I was just saying on the broadcast, man, that car looks very beat up after that start finish line. I know no one was lifting to that thing, and I don't think that thing's going to be rolling through tech anytime soon. So hopefully whatever secrets you got in that car, looks like it'll stay for another week or two.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that wreck on the start finish line there, and we were coming to the finish, and I was like, I'm not lifting. So, yeah, it makes for a very interesting Victory Lane car.
Yeah, that is for sure, and I don't blame you. If I was in the same spot, I'd be like, yep, not lifting either. Don't want to give up this win in that sort of way. So, keeping my foot in it, going for a gap, and close my eyes.
I thought I was going to have a gap there to kind of make it by there, but it turns out there was a few more cars stopped a little farther past the initial cars that I saw. And, yep, and I guess everybody saw the end result there. Yeah,
because it was definitely a big mess on the start-finish line. There was at least 10 cars. It was like, holy smokes, it seemed like the real-life Xfinity race. It seemed like there was just a parking lot there on the last lap, and, of course, here on iRacing, no yellow flags on the last lap, so you got to race it on out. And you did everything right tonight, Matt. You got her in Victory Lane, made it 2 in a row. How was this car? And you had Jamie Walker there giving you the pressure. What'd you do, rip off that mirror and say, all right, just going to hit my marks?
Yeah, I was kind of making a little too many mistakes there to allow him to get underneath me, and then that caution came out and kind of gave me a chance to cool the tires back off, regroup, and just kind of run my race from there on out, just mistake-free. And that was the key difference, I think. And then also the cautions there kind of helped out. I didn't have to defend too much from Jamie.
Yeah, Matt, you were definitely one of the masters of the restart, always going in different spots. Was that the key tonight? Just going right around that apex, especially late in the run, and just keeping everyone on their toes?
Yeah, I didn't want to get too predictable on the restart, so I kind of was trying a few different things earlier in the race, and they seemed to work out. And so it was just basically just keeping everyone on their toes, keeping Jamie to where he wouldn't be able to guess when I was going. And so I was able to pull a little bit of a gap on him each time.
Yep, yeah, you got awesome restarts every single time, so you did everything right from leading the way on these restarts. But Matt, you make it 2 in a row. That 54 machine seems like it's hitting its stride and going to be a tough competitor throughout this season like always. But before we let you go and celebrate down in Victory Lane, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and let you thank whoever you got to for this 54 crew here.
Yep, as always, I'd like to thank the league sponsors for keeping the league going, and sponsoring the different type of awards here, and really helps out the league and really helps grow it and bring in a bunch of racers each week and put on a good show for the fans. I'd like to thank Team AV and my fiance in the chat. She was rooting me on, Samantha, it looks like, so, and all the other fans that we're just on each week.
All righty, Matt. Well, always a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we'll see you up in the booth because, like I said, you're one of the cars here to be on a weekly basis. Now got a win not at a mile and a half. I know you can probably pretty fast at every single track. So excited to see what this 54 has for the rest of the season as we start getting midway here through the regular season.
Yep, looking forward to it. Hopefully the car looks a little bit more cleaner next time.
Yep, that is for sure, Matt. Luckily, you can go home with the winner's check, and you have yourself a great rest of your night, Matt, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Yep, you too.
All righty, that was our winner, Matt Grunberg, getting it done for 2 in a row. Heck of a job from that team and that driver, like always. So we will go through tonight's finishing order. We'll run through the results from that crazy last lap fiasco. Matt Grunberg for Team AV gets it done, parks it in victory lane here for 2 in a row. Jamie Walker once again talking to me after the race, brings it home. This time runner-up, so one spot better than last week. Mark Arthur in the 12 parks it in third. Ty Marasco in the 1, fourth. Dalton Kilroy in the 41 rounds out the top 5. Rick Thompson with a big move late. He's up in 6th position for finishing. Jason Powell finishes 7th in the 18. 8th goes to Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the 10th. 9th goes to Kyle Wellman in the 42, and rounding out our top 10, Corey Rutherford in the 5. Corey Sherman in the 3 brings it home 11th. 12th goes to Brandon Feeney in the 38. Tanner Marr in the 4. 13th, Brian Dees in the 14. And 14th in the 17. Jordan McAvoy in the 21 machine rounds out the top 15. 16th goes to Ian Habiak. Paul Ellison in the 55. 17th. James Miller in the 18th in the 09 machine. It's getting too late, ladies and gentlemen. 19th is Chris Legou in the 71. Derek Paulson brings it home 20th. 21st is Casey Campbell. Sam Bumgarn 22nd. 23rd, Philip Van Fleet. Aaron Backover 24th. 25th is Randy McAvoy. Amanda Sherman 26th. 27th, Terry Foster. 28th, Josh Rutherford. 29th goes to John Perkins. Brad Collins rounds out the top 30. 31st is Chris Carroll. 32nd, Race Clark. Jason Raymond, 33rd, and Fred Thompson rounds out the field for tonight. So we saw a action-packed race here at Martinsville. Around, I want to say, 23 cautions, so a long race here. But we'll be off next week for Easter. Everyone have a great Easter holiday. And we'll be back the week after for some more racing action here on Sunday nights at same time, same place. Presented by yours truly. So, of course, we got to give a shout-out to TRJ Karting for making the series possible. Be sure to check them out for any of your karting needs. Of course, Michael Falk Racing Designs. Be sure to get a car from him if you want to stand out on the broadcast. Also, be sure to check out Salvage Edge. They'll put your name on anything. And if you want to upgrade your sim setup to the next level, be sure to check out Butt Kicker. Got to thank, of course, each and every one of you live viewers for tuning on in, hanging out with me. Appreciate all you. Got to thank all the replay viewers that come in and rewatch us. Of course, a lot of people to thank. Got to thank Brandon Feeney out here, Kyle Wellman, Constantine. I know I butchered that. Lori, Michael, Kelly, Tyler. And then, of course, we got some late chat. Oh, man, not even going to pronounce that. Sam, Ryan, all you guys for joining on out here and keeping me company. I appreciate all you guys. Be sure to jump on in, jump in the chat it up with me as we call these races as well. This has been Brett the Jet from Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check out Turn 3 Racing Network for all your racing needs throughout the week. Got a lot of sweet broadcasts, a lot of sweet racing going on. Be sure to check them out if you got some free time. And I'm going to go sign off here. Get some good sleep. Everyone have a great rest of your night, great week, and of course, great Easter weekend. Everyone take care, be safe, and remember, just flew by you. See you guys.